underquote. That's the memorial. The reason he's given two quotes is for the poppy to be individual and these bits cut out, and the other quote is for the stone to be in one piece.
They can get it red, can they?
Yeah, yes, so they can do all that.
No, you'll be friendly.
So basically that's what two quotes are, one for that and then that being cut out and one.
Have you asked about the poppy being done in enamel?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it will be done in enamel?
Oh yes, it'll all be painted, proper painted, and the three colours around here represent these three different services: land, sea and air. But all this can be done. But I'm saying at the moment I'm still waiting on the.
So where's that going to be put?
We're looking to putting it. Do you want to say?
Opposite the church, you know, you've got the planters.
Yeah.
There's a little corner there. It's going in there. So I'm waiting on quotes.
Right. We can give them a little bit of a nudge, Peter, because
yeah.
really we're looking for November 2018. This is the big,
I mean, yes,
big anniversary.
I will. It's taken me a little while to trip over these stonemasons, as they've never been in the office. It's, I'll say, the last one was only a couple of days ago, and they've got to go through their yard to find out what stone they've got, to see if they can right size, and it all takes a little time.
Yeah, of course. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, next item on the agenda is the planning applications. If we start with FHTH 171409, which is 4 Mannerley Road. The erection of a single-storey side extension to 4 Mannerley Road. Anybody got any comments they wanted to make on that? No? Quite happy?
I'm sure all these things seem to be, there don't seem to be a huge encroachment on the land.
Okay. Yeah.
No issue.
FTH 171348, 2 Sunnyside Cottages. Variation of condition 2 of Planning Commission, FTH 1665, the erection of dormer window to rear elevation together with Velux windows to front elevation to allow for the erection of pitched roof.
We passed this some time ago, didn't we?
No, they're just making a change to the condition, one of the conditions.
Right.
Because I think they mapped it out, didn't they, or something?
Did they? I don't know.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah,
just a
they-
change in
yeah.
condition, so the planning people here.
We still don't like the relics in the front.
You don't like the
No. Because that's, everything's going to be now relics in the front. Where it's always been put beside it, isn't it? One side.
Not building out, are we? Not building out, it's only a window.
Yeah, but none of them got it. It's all been stopped some time ago.
Was there a reason for that?
No, what was the reason? I don't know.
Come on, Aaron.
I don't know.
No, I was thinking of Bernard.
All right.
Bernard might know. I certainly don't know.
No,
All my time.
Can you help us, Bernard?
No, I very can't.
Okay.
I think it was felt that if you do it one go, they're all.
We could put a recommendation forward that even though it's done in this particular instance, or perhaps passed in this instance, that it shouldn't set a precedent or whatever on that. Be specific for that particular application.
Does it overlook another property as well?
Yeah, that would be a consideration, wouldn't it? You know, or which one's overlook other properties. It's just a window go against the route.
Sorry, we're all talking amongst ourselves here. Can we address the council so we can make a decision on this? Rob?
No, I was just saying I can't see it causing any trouble to anybody. It's not sort of building outwards. It's just going to be a window on the roof. So
I'm okay with the window at the back, but not
And not
the
one.
front.
We have a vote in it.
So what do you think?
Well, we can, because it's a change in the variation in the conditions, we can just write a note that about the VLUGs to say that we don't wish it to set a precedence in the future, but there's no objections in principle.
Fair enough on that one?
Okay.
Yeah? Good, thank you. FTH 171368 12 Bedford Way. Erection of a single-storey rear and side extension. Sonia, anything on this one?
Well, hang on a second, honestly. As long as the planning officers have looked at the regulations, what's going on, I can't see if there's any problem with it.
Anybody else?
I think it's good. Extensions now, so many metres out.
Yeah, as long as the neighbours don't mind.
Well, they'll let you know, won't they?
Okay, OLTH 171412, land northwest of Downbarton Road, St Nicholas. This is outline application for the erection of one in number detached bungalow with all matters reserved. Now I can't even think where this one might
Is
be.
anyone I can contact?
Graham, can you help us there? You live in Downbarton.
Is that Basil's land, that little bit in the corner?
So we've got to go right down,
Right.
the opposite Summer
It's
Road.
Summer Road, isn't it? There's a plot of land there.
Is anyone-
I sure I see a skip up somewhere. You know where it is, Melvin?
It's mine.
Oh, is it yours? Oh, well, we know where it is then.
It is right on the corner, Summer Road.
Yeah.
Any comments on this one?
No problem. They're building it somewhere anyway, aren't they?
For the six going in Summer Road.
It's right opposite it. So.
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay. Next one is OLTH 171342. And if you don't mind, I'd like to discuss that one in line with, I believe you should have all received an email yesterday about outline planning permission for 30 houses in Manor Road. Is that correct? You all had that? You were. This application from St John's College, Cambridge, has been in the pipeline for some time. They have now put in the application for this. I firmly believe that we should be objecting to this on a number of reasons. I have written to the local MP, who has assured me that he wrote to Thanet District Council some time ago objecting to this. Yeah. I have also had, with the very kind help of one local resident who has actually paid for a planning consultant to help us with the objection on this. And I'd just like to read part of that out to you so that you are aware of what this objection is. I'm afraid it's a little bit long, so I'll try and keep it as short as I can.
Excuse me, Gordon, where is this?
This is the 25 houses in the length
Opposite
between
Pete
Warner
Kirby's.
Cottage
What the
and...
bit they cleared it, or is that?
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, that's 18.
Is it?
This is in the length. You know where the...
Oh, the length.
Where the
The length.
offices
Oh,
are.
I've got it.
Well, a lot.
Oh, right.
Yeah, yeah, I've got it, sorry.
Okay, so if I can read, this is for the 25 houses in the length. This is a site which is allocated for housing development in the council's draft local plan. the council has had a poor delivery of housing for several years and a recognised less than 3-year housing land supply, which falls far short of the requirement to demonstrate a 5-year supply of deliverable housing sites. There is a strong likelihood that the number of houses which the government will require to be delivered each year in Thanet will be increased significantly. A consultation document produced in the middle of the last month by the government indicated that the numbers would increase from the objectively assessed annual need of 857 houses to 1,063, an increase of more than 200 per annum. These points will make it very difficult for the council to resist proposals at this site, and the obligation on their part under the NPPF will be to grant planning permission unless the harm arising from the development significantly and demonstrably outweigh the benefits. Whilst writing, I appreciate that some objectors may feel that this application is premature in advance of the further consideration and adoption of the replacement local plan. However, there is clear government guidance on these matters, and without going into that in great deal, my conclusion that it may be inappropriate to do so and could have the effect of undermining the parish council's other objections. With those matters in mind, I have set out some possible objections which you could raise in commenting on the planning application. The first one is landscape and visual impact. The first point is that the development will have a significant adverse impact upon the visual and landscape character of the area. I make a number of points in support of this conclusion. The site is visually exposed and part of the flat landscape which extends northwards towards the Thanet Way and also the Thames Estuary. The site was previously and appropriately identified in the development plan as a protected gap within which development was resisted. The site is distinctly different from other developed parts of the length and located on the north side of the road. Existing development on the north side of the road is part of the historic village, grouped around the church, the farm and shops. The development of the site would appear strident and incongruous. The development of the site in the way proposed would be at variance with the prevailing spatial patterns of development in the area. It would be out of character with the historic pattern of development to the west. The development would perpetuate the more inappropriate post-war housing development to the south of the link, which is also strident and incongruous and draws on no local vernacular reference. The development of this exposed site would be highly visible from a number of public vantage points, including the A28 Canterbury Road, the Thanet Way, Orchard Lane, and from parts of the A253. The landscaping proposed would be insufficient to shield the development. Furthermore, a reduction in housing on the site to facilitate an increase in landscape area would not address the wider concerns about the incongruity of the proposals and the adverse impact on the visual quality of the area and its landscape character. In our view, if the village is to accommodate additional development, it would be more appropriate for it to be located alongside the recently approved development at Manor Road. It hasn't actually been approved yet. Which is significantly more contained in visual and landscape terms. Heritage impact. The second point is that the proposals would have a significant adverse effect upon designated heritage assets. These include the listed Warmer Cottage and Bramble Cottage and the listed Chalk Garden together with the St Nicholas Conservation Area. The development would adversely affect the setting of these designated heritage assets. By contrast, the development at Manor Road it's not already approved, consistent.
Does he mean raised?
Yes, sorry, he does, you're right, thank you. Yeah. Had no such adverse impact, and there is additional land adjacent to that where similarly no adverse effect upon heritage assets would occur. Highway safety. Our third point is that the proposals would add a significant number of vehicle movements at the junction of the length with the A28, at a point where visibility to the south along the A28 is limited. By contrast, visibility splays at Manor Road and the A28 are greater, and we consider this to be a safer access point where additional developments take place within the village. Conclusion. We note that there is a substantial amount of local opposition to this application. In our view, the adverse effect upon visual and landscape quality character, the adverse effect upon the setting of several designated heritage assets, and the highway concerns which we have raised result in a significant amount of harm. We recognise that there will be some benefits from housing development, particularly during the construction phase, and some support for local services. However, in our opinion, the adverse effects of the development which we have identified will significantly and demonstrably outweigh these benefits. Furthermore, if development is to take place in the village, we strongly believe that there is a better location. The development of a similar amount of housing between the existing site recently approved at Manor Road and the A28 would be more successfully accommodated within the surrounding landscape and would blend much more satisfactorily with the spatial development pattern of development. It would not harm heritage assets and would be preferable in highway safety terms. For these reasons, we urge the council to resist this application.
Brilliant.
Any comments?
Yeah, I mean, if you go on the site and actually have a look at the planning application, there are a lot of objections, and so it has a lot of local resistance definitely to that.
Okay. 2 weeks ago, when this came up, I asked Councillor Crowe-Brown to call it in to the planning committee, and that has actually done. So the decision will not be made by a planning officer; it will be made by TDC planning committee. If it's all right with you, I would like to represent the council at that meeting, at which I will read that statement out from the consultant. Okay.
Can we put that on the website to get people along to support that objection?
I will check with the person who paid for it, I think, first, if he's happy for that to be published. Okay. So, if we're all in agreement, we will oppose the development in length. And at the same time, if we can look at now the development in Manor Road, it is a 30-house development. I look at it really as the third phase of what's going on there. With the building work, I understand, started this week on the 17 houses, this end of Manor Road. I understand that later on, at the beginning of next year, that the second phase will go ahead, the 39 that have been approved there, and this will be, the 30 would be like a third phase. And that's the point I want to make to TDC. That is more than our allocation. We were allocated something like 75 houses to be part of this house building in Thanet, and surely I wouldn't take any more than that. I think that would be enough.
I think keeping it all in one place would be better for the village.
Absolutely, yeah.
Was that about the pack house or something? Wasn't there someone wanted to build there?
No, that's we can talk about that at a later time. But at the moment, that's not the plans of the owner. Yeah, and there are other issues with the Manor Road development. One of the things that has gone into the planning application is that there will be a new footpath leading down from the Canterbury Road. That, I think, is key to this, because it will make that road far more safer.
Will it not take, I would approve of that, but will it not take a bit more away from the cars going up?
No, the footpath, you know where the hedge is, okay, that hedge is going to be taken away, okay, and the footpath is going to go where that hedge is. Okay.
So could we look at asking the developers, they seem to be going on from Manor Road, could we talk to them about possibly, could they talk to KCC about getting another access off the A28? I can't see why they can't go into that development from the A28, because recently in Sale they were given a new access to a property. So I can't see how. Would there be a problem with that?
I don't see it's going to be a problem. I can perceive at some point that there will be an access road from the back of all three of those developments.
Yeah, there'll have to be, because the Manor Road isn't big enough to accommodate that many vehicles.
But that would be, I will be talking to the developer of the 17 houses in the very near future about his support for the playground area, so that's something I can bring up with him.
Are we able to also get statistics of the number of accidents that have been at the end of Man Road? Because there have been, over the years, quite a few accidents at that junction.
You can go on